everyone, welcome back to Mamta Nival tutorial. And guys, in this video we're going to start a new chapter number 10, and the name of the chapter is motion and measurement. Okay, motion and measurement of distance. Okay, as from the name you can find it out what is the motion. Like if a person is moving from one area to another or one place to another, that is the motion. Okay, so whatever changement in the distance is known as the motion. And the measurement of the distance, like how we can measure, with which units we are using to measure the distance between one place to another. So we need to focus on this concept in this video. Okay, before that we can say that we should know about the story of transport. Okay, how our transport starts. Like in the initial ages, or we can say that long ago, the ancient people, what they do they have cars and motorbikes and else means of transport in the early stage? No, they do not have. So there is no means of transport at that time. Okay, so how the people moves and how they carry the goods? They move by foot. Okay, by foot. They move by foot, and they carry goods on their back. Okay, this is the only way they can move from one place to another. If they need to carry some goods, so they need to carry it on their back and move. Okay, so by foot is the only option in the initial stages. There were no means of transport. Okay, now after that they start using animals for carrying the goods as well as to transport. Okay, for the use of transportation. So they start using transportation, which consists of some woods as well as some animals. Okay, they include, most of them include animal in the front, and it will help carry the goods in the back. Okay, like bullocks. So the transportation start from here. This transportation is for the land transportation. Okay, but what about the water transportation? For water they start using boats. Okay, but the boats are very simple one. Okay, they are just logs of woods, and they do not have a particular shape. But after some time later on, the people has started to put the different type of pieces, or we can say that different pieces of wood together. They put the different pieces of wood together and make a proper shape of the boat. So how they decided which kind of a shape will be very good for the boats? So they decided according to the shape of the animals which are present or which live in water. So what kind of a shape do the animals have which live in water? Are the streamlined body. So from here they decided to make the boat shape as the streamline, so that they can have the transport in the water. Okay, after that there is an invention. There is an invention of wheel. Okay, this is a very big invention. How wheel will work? On the land we use wheel. Okay, but slowly after time they have improved the design of the wheel. Like in the starting the wheel design was not so perfect, so that we can travel from one place to another with very easy or in a convenient way. Okay, but that is helpful at that time also. Now after some time the peoples help them to improve that design and make it more useful. And here also still people use, they use animals to use or to pull the cart. okay, to pull the carts they use the animals, and the wheels is helping that animal to easily pull that cart, okay. And in 19th century, in the beginning of the 19th century, the peoples peoples depend on the animals, boats and ships, okay, for their transport. Normally they depend on all these things only, but after that there is an invention of steam engine, okay, invention of a steam engine engine okay. This is a very good invention. Now because of this, where we need to travel this steam engine, it need a railway track or a railroad. So railroad will also begin to start forming on the ground, so the railroad will be making, okay. So this railroad will help the steam engine to drive the carriage, okay. After that, the automobiles like car, like trucks, all these are start forming, or they have inventions, all those automobiles also, okay. So now we will have the automobiles also in our century. So in the starting, what we have, only the normally animals which need to pull that cart, and from there we will take the transport. And after that the steam engine came, and after the steam engine the automobiles also came, the invention of automobiles are also done, okay. Then after this, in 19th century, what happened, there is one more invention which is aeroplane, okay. So it's not only required that water or land should be required for the transportation, no, there is one other option also, air. So through air, if we transport our material, it will take less time and can carry more weight also. So aeroplanes, and after that the invention of aeroplanes, they have changed the design so that it will be more efficient to carry more passenger and more goods into it, okay. After in 20th century, what we got electric trains. We got electric trains, or we can say that monorails also. Monorails, all these are the invention of 20th century. The supersonic trains, or the automobiles, the aeroplanes and the spacecraft, okay. We can also take the example of spacecraft. So all these are the invention which we get from the 20th century, and here we are. So this is how the transportation, or we can say story of transportation, take place from the beginning to our end, till nowadays, okay. Now one important questions came into our mind, like a person should know what is the distance between that area. If you want to go to your friend's house, this is your house and this is your friend's house, so you should know what is the distance between these two houses, okay. So to measure this distance, what kind of units we should require. So the main thing is we should know how far we need to go, so that we can have an idea that we need to take a walk, or we need to take a bus or train, or maybe a ship or a aeroplane, okay. So it's depend on the distance we need to cover, how much distance we need to cover, it depend on that. If the distance is very small, then we can go by walk also. If there is a small distance, not very far, we can take the bus. But if we need a very long distance, like interstate, if you need to go, so the trains and aeroplane is the very good options for them. So it depend on the distance, so we should know the distance between the 2 points where we are traveling. So that's why measurement came. Okay, we need to measure lot of things in our daily life also, like the tailor. Like tailor, he used to measure our cloth, the length of our cloth, before making a kurta out of it. Okay, why? Because he should know, understand that how much cloth he should require to make the height of kurta which you are preferring or which you wanted to. So there should be proper length of that cloth also, so that they can make that kurta out of it. Okay, like another example is the carpenter. The carpenter, he should know, or he should measure the height and width of the wood first before making the doors. Okay, if you need a door of 6 feet, so there should be the wood also required to be that much height. If the wood is 5 feet, so you cannot make a door from a 5 feet wood, a 6 feet door. No, you cannot make. So in our daily life we used to measure lot of things. Okay, so that's why measurement requires. Similarly, if we talk about the farmers also require to know the length and breadth of their field. Why it is required? Because that field, how much seed he should soak into it, so he should know about the quantity. If the field is very small, so he will require less seed or less plantation into it. If the field is very big, so it require more seed, the quantity of seed is more. Or we can say that water quantity. So in the small field, if you want to water the field, so you require small amount of water. And if you need to water the field of large amount, or so a large field, then the water requirement will be very high. So we can say that we used to measure lot of things, and we get an idea like how much things we require, so that after the measuring the distance, or after the measuring the quantity of it. So for this, how it starts? Okay, from some measurement, how we do the measurement in the initial stages. The ancient people, how they used to measure things. Okay, first of all, learn what is unit. What is unit? It is known as the fixed quantity. Any quantity which you have fixed, and say that this is a unit, like 1 gram, it is a unit. 1 kg, it is a unit. So what is unit? A fixed quantity is known as the unit. Okay, to measure anything. Okay, whenever you measure anything, it has 2 points. One is the number, and other is in unit. So we can say that measurement is always expressed in 2 parts. One part is the number, and other part is the unit. Like 1 gram, so 1 is the number and gram is the unit of it. Okay, so this is how we used to represent or express the measurements. Initially, what people do for the measurement, they use foot. Okay, the foot, they used to measure the foot, and with that foot, like 3 foot, this they call it as 3 foot. Or they can have the hand span. They use the hand span, that this is the hand span, and they measure it with their hands. Okay, and they say that this is the 2 hand span, the material is 2 hand span. But what is the problem behind it is that it vary from person to person. Okay, when the other person came, if they have a large size hand, then the cloth will be less. Okay, and if the foot of the person, the foot is small foot, then what happen? If 3 foot, this 3 foot will be here only. So it depend on the person to person. That's why they require something which need to be very standardized. So we can, like, overall world, they should be the same units. So they use a standardized unit of measurement. Okay, and every scientist has agreed to this so that to make an uniformity in the system. Okay, from where the standard unit of measurement came in 1719, the the French has created the standard unit of measurements. Okay, and they called it as metric system, and they help or they convince each or every scientist of every country so that they have an uniformity. They has a uniformity for this so that everyone knows that what is gram. If we talking about 1 gram in USA, then the 1 gram will be same in India also. Okay, so it will be a uniformity in everywhere. It do not vary from person to person. Okay, now what this metric system nowadays known as, it is known as the international system of unit. Okay, what is this? This is SI units. So this is also important, guys. Maybe question has been asked from this thing that what is the full form of SI units. So we know that SI unit is the international system of units. Okay, so what kind of SI units? Like for length, if we need to measure length, we should require or we should measure it in the meter, and it is denoted by small m. Okay, so what the denotation? 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. Okay, 100 centimeter. Okay, now 1 centimeter is consist of 10 millimeter. Okay, 10 millimeter we are taking. If we take a 1 centimeter clothes, so 1 centimeter will consist of 10 millimeter. Okay, the thing is 10 millimeter, and if any clothes or anything which is 10 millimeter, we can say that it is 1 centimeter. And if 1 centimeter 100 centimeter we are taking anything, so we can say that it is 1 meter. Okay, so this is how the standardized or SI units works. For length, for large distance, what we need, the meter will not work for large distance to cover. So for large distance we use 1 kilometer. Okay, that means 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. Okay, that's how we do the calculation or measure the distance. Now one question has been asked that how we can measure a curved line. Okay, this is a curved line. This is we need to find the distance from here to here. So how can we measure from a scale or from a inchy tape, or what we should require to measure a curved path? So whenever there is a curved path, we should need a thread. Okay, we can take a thread, put a thread, one end of the thread here, and place it like this to the other end. Okay, we can stretch it along to the object or along to the place or distance which we are need to cover, and next end will be here. Mark both the ends and then stretch this thread and measure it in with the help of inchy tape or a scale or anything else. Okay, so this is how we can measure a curved surface also. Now what about the motions? How we can say the thing is around us is moving in, or we can say it is in motion or it is in rest? How can we decide it? So mainly the motions, first to understand this we should understand the types of motions. How many type of motions are there which normally objects follow, and how we can find it out that the object is in motion or in the rest state. Okay, so first type of motion is the rectilinear motion. Okay, what is this motion? Whenever a object move along a straight line, a straight line, then we will call it as the this is the rectilinear motion. Okay, if a car is traveling from here to here, now this car is traveling in a straight line, so this is taking a rectilinear motion. Okay, the motion of the car is the rectilinear. Okay, second type of motion is the circular motion. This is also a type of motions. Okay, so circular motion, when the object move in a circular path, we call it as circular motion. Okay, whenever if we take a stone, and we tie a thread. Okay, this is a stone and we tie that stone with a thread and we start whirling it. Okay, we start moving it with our hand, we moving it in a circular motion. Like here is this is our hand, and this is the string, and this is the stone. Okay, that's the stone, this is the thread, and here is our hand. Okay, and we start moving it. So what kind of a motion that stone is showing? That stone is showing us a circular motion. So this kind of a motion, so circular path, if a object follow, that mean he is in a circular motion. Okay, any other example of circular motion? Like electric fan, they show us a circular motion. The blades of the fan move in a circular path. Okay, that's why we are saying it as a circular motion is following. Or we can say that the hands of a clock also move in a circular manner or a circular motion. Okay, the third type of motion is periodic motion. Okay, what is this kind of emotions? The object which repeat its motion. Okay, the object which repeats its motion is known as, or we can say that motion after some times, like a pendulum. This is a thread. Like we can say that what is pendulum, like we can take an example. We put the stone, this is the stone, and we had tied the stone with a thread. Okay, and we are holding it here. Now with the another hand we will stretch this stone and leave it. So what happen? The stone will go here, and then he will go here, and then again here, and then again here, then again. What is this motion? Again and again, this to and fro motion is known as the what? Periodic motions. Okay, this is what the pendulum show. The example is the pendulum. Okay, pendulum show the periodic motion, like it is changing or repeating the same motion after some time. This is our hand, this is the thread, this is our stone. Okay, and how it work? Like this is our initial stage, now the final stage, again it will go here, again it will go back. So this is the repetition of the motions, that's why we are calling it as a periodic motion. Okay, what else? Like drums. Like when we use drum, what happened? That drum also, that tabla also have here, the sheath of the tabla has the motion, that up and down motion. That is also a periodic motion. Or we can say that the strings of guitar, that is also the motion. What kind of a motion? The periodic motions. Okay, these are the example of periodic motions. These are the three types of motions which is explained in this chapter. What else? If we say that there is some kind of combination also. Okay, that's not important that always these all motions are indifferent, like periodic motion will be separated and all circular motion will be separated, or other motions will be separated. No, that's not true. Sometimes combined form also we can see. Like in normal case, if there is a ball there is a ball which is rolling on a ground. Okay, a ball is rolling on a ground, a normal case. This is the ball rolling. So what kind of motion the ball is showing? The rolling of the ball will show what kind of motion? The rotation motion, the rotation. Okay, and what is the ball is coming in the front, the what it is moving forward, so that forward motion will show the rectilinear motion. Okay, so the circular or rotational motion as well as the rectilinear motion, these all, both of these motions are combined in this example. So there is sometime the combinations also, which the combination of the motions are also an example, or we can say that in our daily life we used to see all those things also. So in last, what we need to conclude, what is motion? So in last we can say that motion is a change, it is a change in position, any change in the position of an object, okay, with time. If a object is moving or changing its position with time, that means the object is in motion. If it is not moving with the time, the position is remain same, then we can say that the object is at rest. So this is how we can differentiate between the motion and the rest stage. Okay, so how we can determine the position? The position can be determined by the distance measurement. Okay, it can be determined by the distance measurement, whether it is same or not. Like we should require a reference point for it. Like this is our house, this is our house, okay, and this is our car, this is our car. Okay, if the distance of the car and house is 2 meter, let's an example, 2 meter distance. So after 2 hours, if you see that distance of a car and the house, distance of a car and this house is now is 2 kilometer. So that means the object is in motion. If they will be same, the distance will be same, the position of the car will be same to the position of the house, then the with the same timing. Okay, the time, if within 2 hours you again watch or again measure the distance is same, that means the object is at rest. So this is how you can find out that whatever the object is in motion or in the rest. So this is all in this chapter, guys. I hope you understand the concept. If you have any doubt, please ask me in the comment box, and if you like my video, please give me a thumbs up, and thank you guys for watching this video.